Good evening. Good evening, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. I just want to welcome everyone to this evening's community engagement meeting. All of those here with us in person, thank you all for showing up tonight. And also, we are live streaming this, so all of those out in the virtual world, I'm glad that you all can join us as well. I am Dr. Chris Pavelchik. I'm the principal of Zion Benton High School. And tonight, we will be sharing plans for a significant renovation of our athletic field that includes an artificial turf, a 9-lane track, and improved visitor bleachers, among several other upgrades. We have several speakers here tonight who will provide you with details about the project, the benefits this will bring to our students and our community, and how the project will be funded. There will be some time for questions, and then we will move into the South Commons for some light refreshments. Excellence is at the core of our strategic plan for continuous improvement in District 126. The renovation of our athletic fields is yet another example of several capital improvement projects intended to support the District 126 vision and mission. Student success demands excellent facilities. Our community and students throughout the district have benefited from our new fitness center and NGROTC facilities, our new performing arts center, and our new natatorium. Currently, we're in the middle of creating new 21st century spaces for classes in our career and technical programs, and we are also finalizing plans for new 21st century science spaces that will combine both classroom and laboratory needs. While we prepare students for college and career readiness, we are challenged on many different levels to ensure a ZB graduate can compete with their peers across this county and across the state and across our nation. And we take this responsibility very seriously and must continue to invest in our students in District 126 and the community as a whole. I am super excited for this new plan and hope you will be as well after learning more about the project during this presentation. And so it is now my pleasure to bring to the podium for a few words our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Jesse Rodriguez.
Thank you, Dr. Pavelchik. And before we start, I must say thanks to you as a community, those of you watching us, but also to the Board of Education for giving us the opportunity to explore this option. Here with us, we have our board president, Jerry Nordstrom. Can you please stand so that people can see who you are and give you a thank you. Mr. Sean White, a board member. Ms. Kathy Champagne, a board member. And I saw Mr. Chris Benitez around, but also on behalf of Patricia Stevens, Chris King, who am I forgetting? And Dr. Nieto, we thank you, for coming out today. We thank you for watching us. I will say that these projects that we're doing, as Dr. Pavelchik indicated, where we are addressing site, infrastructure, health, life safety, and academics, is part of the work created by the Board of Education several years ago, even before my time, where the idea is to ensure that our students, our scholars, and our community receive the best possible education in the best facilities for the next 20 years. So we're not looking into this idea of putting a Band-Aid. We're not looking into this idea of renovating or doing projects in our district for the next 2 years. We're looking at the next 20, 30 years with the idea that we have a vision, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90% graduation, 90% post-secondary plans, 90% attendance, 90% teacher retention. Our students must be college, career, and life ready. So that is where we're going. And in order for you to get there, you need to make some investments. So our district has taken this initiative where they have said, Superintendent, go there, work with our people, work with our community. As a board, we are committed, but we want something that is high impact, low cost, but something that can last for the next 20, 30 years, because our students deserve nothing but the best. So that's really what the work is. And I'm proud to show you what we currently have in our athletic field. Let me tell you something. We don't need to do this year. There was no need to do it. The plan was in the next couple years, but we saw a great opportunity as it relates to funding sources where we have an awesome opportunity to do this project. Now, let me also tell you, we're very interested in beautifying the community. So it's about investing in our students, but at the same time, how do we beautify the community? And that is what this project will do. That is the before, and that is what we're proposing. That is the after. Now let's talk business. I'm very honest with you. It's the same meeting that I have with my board. It's the same meeting that I have with my administration. We're not interested in a 7-lane. We want 9. We're interested in sectional meetings. We're interested in state competitions, whatever we might need. We're not interested in putting a Band-Aid. We want to do it right for the next 20, 30 years. We're interested in keeping it at a low cost, but not compromising the quality. Our students deserve that quality. So if this is something that is happening in other school districts, why not here? If other school districts are able to do this, why not here? So that is a question that I have to ask myself as I work with my administration, as I work with the board, as we prepare to present this to you. And I must answer to you, it is going to happen here. Our board is committed. I am committed. The administration is committed. The coaches, our students, our community, we want to bring the best facilities for our students, the best classrooms, the best PAC, in the area, in auditorium, because we want no excuses when it comes to achievement, because we want to make it very clear to our students, to our teachers, to our foundational schools, to everybody in the community that we mean business. 90% graduation. So let's keep our eyes on the prize. And for that, and because of that, we're making this type of investments in our school district. So again, I'm very, very proud of the work. As you can see, how the entrance will look like, potentially. All of this is pending approval from the Board of Education. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be what we deserve. It will beautify our community. It will give our students, in football, soccer, track, and other sports, an opportunity to feel the way that you should feel as a student, because you are the best. So again, our board, and on behalf of the board, I must say, we're interested in investing in you. But we are also interested in seeing our academic achievement going up. And, and with that, I will bring our athletic director. He will talk to us about the proposal, the rationale, but big picture. Once again, you have a Board of Education that is very focused on 3 goals. Enhance academic achievement, ensure effective and efficient operations, and community engagement. And this administration works collectively under those 3 tenets in providing nothing but the best for our students and also for our community. So again, I'm the proud superintendent working for you, with you, And now with you, we have our athletic director, Mr. Jack Nimi.
Thank you, Dr. Rodriguez. When I took this job as the athletic director this year, I was humbled but yet proud to take over an athletic department that I was once part of back 30 years ago. And as I started to just kind of look around things and look at what our facilities look like compared to other schools that I've been around for the last 20 years in the North Suburban Conference, I began to think about what can I do as the athletic director moving forward to make our kids have a more equitable playing surface, facilities that look good that they can be proud of, and all those kind of things. And when Dr. Rodriguez approached me a couple months ago with Dr. Wilkinson and said that we were going to propose this to the Board of Education, I cannot tell you how excited I was, not for myself, because my time was 30 years ago, but for these kids that are here tonight. They asked me to develop some rationale points, and the list was long as far as what I could talk about tonight, but some of the key things when we talk about why we should do this for our students. You know, we're investing in the ZBTHS and the community. You know, this, as Dr. Rodriguez said, our athletic facilities right now are an eyesore. You know, as the athletic director, I'm closing gates with bungee cords, wrapping electrical wire around them, because it's the same fences that were here when I played football in that field, to be honest with you. It's 30 years old. They're rusty, they're dangerous. I've had people come to me, hey, do you got a trainer because I cut my arm on the fence. So when we're talking about investing in the ZBTHS in the community, we need these fields to be safe for people when they come to spectate on a soccer game, a football game, track meet, what have you. We are one of 2 districts in the North Suburban Conference that don't have turf. When you want to talk about a competitive disadvantage, I'll get to that in a little bit, but one of 2 schools out of the 8 that do not have a turf field for our kids to participate on. When we talk about, Dr. Rodriguez mentioned that, being able to host big meets for track and field. Right now, we cannot host a sectional meet in the county. We just can't, because you have to have 8 lanes. So we're going to better that, and we're going to get 9. So it's going to open our doors for us to put Zion on the map and say, hey, everybody from Lake County, Northern Illinois, come to Zion Benton. We want you here in our house to show you what we have so that our kids have a home court advantage and can make the best of what they have. Addressing safety issues. This is one thing that Mr. Bible taught me when I left, or when he left. We were doing football games, we were doing soccer games. There are 6 points on our current football field where, because of the freeze-thaw process, wellheads, drainage things, they've sunk, they've risen, and I have to go out and put cones on those areas so that participants in these athletic competitions know that that's an unsafe area. So there's a safety issue there. Also with our practice fields, our maintenance guys do an amazing job taking care of our game field. I think most of our football players and soccer players that are here will tell you that our football field, it's immaculate. But it's our practice fields that suffer because we're spending so much time on that football field. I'm sure those guys will tell you when they're out there on those soccer fields and football fields that our turf is about as hard as this when we get in a drought season. So it's about safety for the kids, so we can then take that focus and put it on our practice fields. We're not spending all this time on our football field, or excuse me, the playing surface. Effective and efficient athletic programs. This isn't just for soccer, football, track. You know, when you look at the spring sports that are about to come up right now, softball struggles to get out until probably early April because their softball field it's mud. But with a turf field, I can get softball outside on that turf field for practice. I can do that for baseball. Okay, so they're going to be out there getting a competitive edge to be out there competing outdoors in the elements that they're going to be playing in, doing long toss, building their arm strength, and those types of things that they can't do in our gyms and in our field houses. And then improved athlete performance on grass versus turf. Athletics, sports, any competition you think about it's a game of inches, it's a game of seconds, track and field, football, what have you. I'll use a perfect example. First year athletic director, I went out to Stevenson High School to watch our boys compete in the sectional championship, regionals. And I watched these guys play all season on our grass field. And I'm watching, man, these guys are crisp with their passes. Every pass is connecting. These guys are going to do great. But then I went and watched them on turf. The ball is so much faster. The game is so much quicker. Their passes were off by 2 to 3 feet. And I'll be honest, and they'll probably be the same. They got beat pretty bad by Stevenson that day on turf. But when they played them here on grass, it was a closer game because they're used to that. So when we talk about competitive edge, it happens in football. It's going to happen in track. It's going to happen in soccer. So putting our kids on an equitable playing field is key. So I'll leave it with that and turn it over to Dr. Wilkinson. I'm sorry, Tom O'Connell, the architect.
Thank you. This is a aerial, computer-generated aerial view of new facilities. I'm going to start by discussing synthetic turf, and I might take some of these out of order, but the turf will be we have now. So right now, we have a very narrow track, a narrow grass field between it. It essentially have football sidelines on the track, which isn't good for the maintenance of the track and tearing that up. Another advantage of a wider field that you'll be able to play soccer on there on a more regulation size field as opposed to narrower than what would typically be expected. And that new turf will allow us to do some school branding. So we'll be able to brand the end zones with the Zion Benton and the ZBs, brand midfield with the ZB logo, and really make this a state-of-the-art surface. Surrounding that synthetic grass field would be a synthetic track surface. That, once again, 9 lanes. Because this is wider, that means that the curves on the ends won't be as tight of a turn, which should hopefully increase performance because you're not turning so tightly. Because we're getting wider, the grandstands will be staying where they are on the home side. However, the visitor bleachers on the east side will need to move. So we'll be having new bleachers on the east side, further east. There'll be 1,000-seat capacity there. This new field will get new energy-efficient LED lighting. So the existing poles on the west side will remain and be relamped with current state-of-the-art LED lighting with a much more even distribution and intensity of light. We'll be doing some supplemental pole lighting on areas that aren't touched by the overall field lighting. And we're also looking into lighting improvements in the north parking lot just to make that a little safer environment. We're looking at a new scoreboard. State-of-the-art scoreboards are LED, large screen, and have the capability for video, replay, and all types of promotion, as well as a state-of-the-art sound system. And then at the north end, we're looking at a new entry structure. So what you see on the west side is the existing concessions building. We would build a near identical building to that to the east, and then in between we would have a covered shelter for weather events and things like that. That gives us a nice opportunity to make a good, positive first impression to visitors coming here, and lots of opportunity for branding, and also some opportunity for a spirit wear sales area, as well as storage.
Thank you.
So the next speaker, and we're almost done, but before we bring him forward, is our CFO, Dr. Wilkinson. We do have a special visitor in the house. He's the CB mascot. Can you all look over there and give the CB mascot an applause? Yeah, I got a text message, you got to recognize the CB mascot, but you also have to recognize a very special group of people that is here today under the leadership of Mr. MacArthur White, our football players. I hear you're here. Please stand. Football players. Look at that. Yes, you will see it here. our players, our students, you don't have to go to Stevenson to see this type of field. It will be here in town. See, I do have a big problem with that. I started here a couple months ago. And the idea was, in order for you to see something like this PAC, you have to go to Stevenson, you gotta go to Lake Forest, we're gonna have it here in Zion. And it's gonna be in a fiscally responsive way. So, MacArthur is your program. I already gave you direction. Hire your coaches. This is your house. Thank you for everything you do. And now with you, our CFO, Matthew Wilkinson, who has worked very, very tirelessly on this project. Folks, we talk about this, and the idea was, Dr. Wilkinson, can we do this in the next couple years? Let's see what we can do. And I am so proud to say that we're able to show this now in advance, and that is due to the work, the collaboration, because we do this for you, with you. And again, I just want to thank the Board of Education, and I know that we're going to make our community, our students proud, because they deserve nothing but the best. Dr. W?
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Rodriguez. Thank you, Board of Education. Thank you, students and community, for coming out tonight. This is an extraordinary opportunity for this community, this district. And what I would like to do now is just kind of talk to you about the funding, how we're proposing to do this project. Again, it is a strategic investment in our students, in our community. We're planning to make a $4.5 million investment in this district and community without any referendum or bonding. We've got a taxpayer relief grant that we just have been accepted and hope that the board will approve on Tuesday night. And thus far, we've abated back over the last 5 years $9 million to this community. And that's basically tax dollars that were paid and then returned. So that's an accomplishment. That's a big accomplishment. So what does that mean? Well, that means the tax rate that we established in 2015 was $5.30. So it's come down, based on this abatement, down to $3.80, or by $1.50. And that's the lowest it's been since 2011. You can't say that about many other taxing districts in this community, because we are making substantial decreases in our taxes while improving the investments in the district itself. The natatorium, the PAC, and now the classroom renovations with science. We're making those enhancements while we're decreasing taxes. And for example, if you're a homeowner in this community, the taxes for the district will be reduced by approximately $117. And again, that's if the assessor doesn't change the assessment on your home. So most taxing bodies, you'll see your taxes going up. Ours are going down. And that's what we want to continue forward as we make these enhancements and investments in the community. Next slide, Jack, please. So where do we go from here? So funding for the project, we're going to have $4.5 million from multiple sources. We have our evidence-based funding, a Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity grant, the energy bill funding, and education operation maintenance funds that are going to make it possible for us to accomplish this project this summer. The next steps at the board meeting on the Tuesday the 22nd, we're going to have to approve the architect and construction manager for the project, award the bids for our turf and bleachers, and then award remaining project on April 26th, hopefully with the project, with the board approval, beginning on May 23rd, and completing it on homecoming night, October 7th. Can I get a round of applause? So again, these are the proposal that we have and how we plan to fund it. Again, it is an extraordinary investment in this district and community. We're all real excited about it and looking forward to playing on it October 7th. So, Dr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Matt. So, closing, students that are here, student athletes, please stand. If you are in any sports, please, including football, everybody. Let's give them a hand. Thank you. Thank you. I see some soccer, track students. Thank you for being here. We do this for you. You are the center of everything we do. We are a student-oriented school district. So we thank you for being here. Also, any coaches, if you're a coach, staff member, if you're coaching any sports, please rise. Coach. Yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for your commitment, staff members. We do it for you as well. Again, you don't have to go somewhere else. It will be here in Zion Benton. And we're proud of that, and we're proud of the work that you have done. We're proud of everything you have done under the conditions that you're doing it in. And we're committed to improve that. So in the next half an hour, we're going to be in the South Commons, right, Mr. Nimi? Oh, questions first. I'm sorry. See, I was going right away for the reception. Yeah, I want the popcorn or, and the drink. So we do have questions that will be facilitated by Mr. Carlson. So if you have any questions, please come to the mic. And Ms. Hassan. Questions you may have, please come to the mic, and we will answer those for you. You can line up after the folks that are already getting ready to ask the questions.
Testing.
Administration, please take notes.
I took notes.
All right.
I got a few questions. Well, I'm going to start with the obvious question, which was several years ago, the school district was offered a turf field free. We did not, to my knowledge, have a community engagement event and ask the parents' opinion, and the school said no. So I guess my question is, if we're not willing to accept a field like this when it's free, why are we paying for it? Would be my first question. The next question is, it'd be great if we hold sectionals, but I guess how many other schools in the district are already eligible to hold sectionals? Do you know?
Mr. Nimi can answer the second question. The first question, or Mr. Carson?
I can answer the first question.
Yeah, you can answer the first one.
I can.
Okay, go ahead and I'll finish it up.
So I'm not sure where that information came from. I've been part of the district for 24 years, close with Mr. Bible, and Mr. Bible once told me that if somebody came here and said, we'll give you the field for free, we would never tell them no. So I'm not sure where that is and whether it's true or untrue. All I know is what Lonnie has told me in the past. I don't know if anybody else can speak to the validity of that, but I'm not aware of that coming to the school for a free turf field.
I know sponsorship was part of the issue, so, yeah.
Yeah, potentially, many times, many ideas come and proposals. What I do know right now is that we have an opportunity right now for the future. Whatever happened in the past, we just learn, and if that sponsor or if that person is out there, we're open for business. Let's talk. But at the end of the day, we are going to take our resources, our grants, new dollars that we brought in, and we want to make this a reality for you. As it was mentioned, I think in 2007, board president talked to me about it, that it was mentioned before and something that we wanted to do. It just never materialized. Now we're bringing something to you where we can make this a reality for our community. And then second question.
I just confirmed with our track coaches that we are one of 2 schools that cannot host a
Okay.
sectional in our conference.
So we'd only get to hold it about every 6 years?
Possibly.
Is basically what you're saying.
Possibly.
It's not like we're going to get to hold sectionals every year
Correct,
just
no,
because we're eligible. So
It moves around, but
yeah, we're not going to make big bucks when you only get to do it once every 6 or 7 years. That was the only reason I asked the question. If we're going to be 2 or 3 that can do it, then we get it every 2 or 3 years. That's great. All right, next question is, we already have this money, so if that's the case and you don't spend it on the football field improvement, what was the backup plan? What different programs would benefit if you don't spend it on football?
That would be another engagement section with the board and the different committees, but we do have many programs inside the building that can benefit from upgrades. As we announced earlier, industrial arts is now being addressed with a new career and technical education center. Science will follow. So our science classrooms will be renovated in the phase 2. So,
Right, but you're going to vote on the field before you come up with the alternative plan? I guess
No.
that's my question.
No, the
What's the
field was a priority based on the conditions of our athletic field, and the idea and the fact that we're doing renovations inside the school already.
Right, I know you're already doing some of those, but I guess I was under the impression that the board hadn't voted yet for the athletic field. Is this already a done deal? And
No,
it's already sold and there, I mean, I don't understand the point of this event if it's not open for discussion.
No, it's not a done deal. We met with our finance committee and got direction from that committee to move forward to seek bids on two major aspects of the project, one being the turf field itself and the other being the visitor bleachers, because those are the two primary components of this project. That it's very time sensitive. This is a very tight schedule for this renovation from the day after graduation to October 7th for a project of this type. Every day is needed to get this in the schedule to get this work done. So the point here is that we got the approval to get those bids. We have those bids. They've not been approved yet by the Board of Education. They can be rejected.
Oh,
But
okay, so there's a possibility that you'll take this money that we have and spend it on something else.
There is a possibility, but the recommendation coming from the administration will be to move forward with this project.
Okay, so you won't tell the community what the other groups are that would benefit from it, I guess?
No,
is the
that's not true.
question.
We have a capital facilities plan that we have in place that would include other projects that could take the place of this project if if the Board of Education decided not to do it.
Okay, I just would be curious to know what the other options are. Last question, I think it's for you if you don't want to sit down. All right, so our housing market value, our housing values are good right now because, you know, last year everybody paid great money for homes, which was great for us, and that's what helped change your tax rate. So when the market crashes and our home values decrease, then you have to change the tax rate again. So where does that put us then instead of the $117 savings, I guess?
What I can say to you is that the tax rate has decreased for the last 5 years, and thus far it's projected for at least the next 2 to 3 years to continue to go down for our district. I can't speak to what the other taxing bodies are doing, but for our district, we have a 2 to 3 year projection. The tax rate is going to continue to decline as we make these investments into the community.
Okay, all right, I'm done.
Thank you.
This is just a random question. Is our jersey gonna change?
Is the jersey going to
It's
change?
just random.
I'm trying to save some money here.
Oh, I was just.
No, there are discussions with our athletic director about enhancing some of the uniforms and equipment. I can't talk about the jersey yet, but I can guarantee you that there are some investments made for next year as it comes to uniforms and equipment, et cetera, et cetera. What's the question?
I had said they didn't really let us wear visors, but it was a coach thing. I didn't know that.
Yeah?
It doesn't need, he's good.
You good? All right.
So in the time that you start construction, there's obviously going to be effect for spring, track and soccer, and then of course the beginning of the fall of football. So where will events be taking place at that time?
Yeah, Mr. Animi can answer this. That sequence of events is very, very important because there will be implications, some negative implications to certain sports. That is why, or graduation. So we took all of those things into consideration, but Mr. Nimi will answer the question, the specific question you asked.
Thank you, Doc. Great question. So as of right now, if this plan were to be approved by the Board of Education, graduation is slated for May 22nd, pending weather, obviously. Construction tells us they're ready to go on May 23rd if our ceremony is held. Okay, so that will get us through our track season. I've conferred with my track coaches. I know that's real close to the state meet, but if need be, we would talk to one of our neighboring schools if we needed to get back there and do a couple more days of practice, what have you. Soccer would be complete at that time. And then as we roll into the fall season, one of the things that was urgent for us this year is to get this project done this year is, right now on our schedule, we have 3 home football games scheduled for next year. We're in that 3 to 6 rotation, which I'm trying to balance out more to 5 and 4. But next year we have 3. So I've already talked with 2 of our opposing schools that are early on in the season to let them know that there is a chance, a very good chance, that we will not have our field ready for those first 2 competitions. So they have graciously accepted to play home. Go figure. We knew they would, but though they have decided that they would host us for football. I've talked with Coach Cliff Pontillo, our head varsity coach, and he has said that we will either work on a same plan where we go to the host school and we'll play most way, or our facilities, if with our guys being able to maintain and focus on his practice facilities, which is our JV field as well, we could host our games here, or potentially go to Pierce campus and play on the field that we have over there.
Yeah, the reality is that with construction, we only have 365 days in a year. There's no more. And we do have events, that need to happen. So there will be flexibility will be required as we complete this project, but hopefully it's only a 1-year thing. And then after that, we're back to normal. Other questions? See, they're ready for the popcorn with me. Good, President? Coaches? All right, so again, we are going to be outside. Administrators will be out there, ask questions one-on-one. Maybe you didn't have an opportunity, or you're shy, or you just don't want to talk in the mic. Please note that I will be out there. The administrators, our architect, our principal, executive directors, board members will be out there as well. Let's continue with the conversation. This is not a done deal. This is just an idea that we want to make a reality for our students, for our community. And through these conversations, we're gaining ideas. We have made changes to the project based on the conversations, with different people, focus groups, coaches, students, Board of Education. Last month, January 25th, we had a meeting, and several board members gave us questions. We provided answers. So this is an ongoing conversation. We want to do this with our community, in partnership with you as a community, in partnership with you teachers, in partnership with you coaches. On behalf of the Board of Education and Superintendent Rodriguez, and I thank you, and we'll see you in the reception area. Follow Mr. Lee, and for some refreshments and healthy conversations, as again, we are going to make Zion Benton Township High School the best school district anywhere. In academics, in athletics, yes, it can happen here. It will happen here. Thank you.